with every new year brings in a lot of joy, happiness and reasons for us to cherish, replenish our memories and bringing new spurs of life. Well, the number 7 is very important to us, There are 7 colors in a rainbow, 7 days in a week. And yes, we have a lot of reasons to cherish. We bring in a lot of freshness. Tasty. Well, perhaps we need something more than just the regular being of us out here. We need a little bit more crispness. Well, it took 7 whole years for KTM to get one such beauty. And here's the brand new 2022 KTM RC 200 in front of us all.
The biggest change is what's staring right at you, and that's the new design philosophy. The new RC gets a much larger face, and in typical KTM fashion, it's a unique and rather quirky design. Compared to the old RC, the new bike gets a more upright-looking stance with a bigger front section and a taller, more rounded windscreen. KTM says that this bike has better aerodynamics than before, and while the face does not look as sharp and aggressive as the old bike, it definitely stands out. If anything, the bike probably has even more presence than the old one.
Well, the 9.5 litre tank on the KTM RC 200, the older one, wasn't really enough. But fortunately, the 13 litre tank on this does wonders and is way more than enough. With the soaring prices of petrol, I'm sure this will give us the extra mile.
The new RC 200 now gets a full LED headlamp, while the indicators and LED position lights are now placed alongside the main headlamp. The new fairing uses a wider, layered design that gives the bike a greater sense of presence. The tail section now also looks longer, with a completely different rear seat design and a sleeker looking LED brake lamp. A new set of Duke-style grab handles will make life easier for the pillions as well. The new RC 200 is available in the black-orange scheme and the striking combination of orange and grey as you see here. The bike gets new foldable mirrors and both the foot levers now have foldable ends, although the hand levers aren't adjustable. The RC 200 also gets an LCD display that comes right off the 250 Adventure, but this LCD screen on the RC 200 is much larger than before, while being quite informative and easy to read. No matter what your opinion on the design is, you're almost certainly going to like what KTM has done with the riding position. For those of you who want it commented like the old bike, the clip-ons can be lowered by 14.5 mm, but this will need the usage of some spaces that will be available at KTM service centers. KTM claims the same 835 mm seat height, better padded and much more comfortable than the old bike. Despite the added weight of the extra fuel, the RC 200 still weighs the same 160 kg as before, because KTM has managed to shave over 3 kilos of unsprung weight from areas like the rear chain sprocket, the new front brake disc, and if you're concerned about those wheels, they are not only lighter but also stronger than the ones they replace. Out on the track, the RC 200 unsurprisingly feels very familiar. This is a motorcycle that loves corner and it seats you in position that encourages you to go on the attack. It is still a 160 kg machine, which means that it doesn't feel super light on its feet, but the bike is also quite stable. And without all the extra power of the 390, the RC 200 is also more forgiving for any of the mistakes that the rider might make. But honestly, the suspension is what gives it away a little. The soft suspension of the rear chatters a lot when in deep lean, but is great enough for everyday riding. Just like before, the rear shock is quite softly sprung and you will end up wanting more from the brakes. Regardless, this thing pulls some decent stoppies as well.
Pulls a stoppie with no hesitation whatsoever. The new 320mm brakes are a treat to enjoy.
The most familiar aspect of this bike is its engine. The 199.5cc liquid cooled single cylinder is in the same spec as the current model, and there are no changes to the power and torque figures as well. However, the new RC gets a 40% larger airbox, and KTM says that this offers better throttle response and a stronger torque curve. Another thing that we actually loved was the heat management. Beyond that, the RC 200's motor is very familiar and it continues to run super short gearing that make it great fun to use, especially on the street. On the track though, you gotta be careful to be in the right gear because it is easy to fall out of the power band or slam into the rev limiter. On the long straights, we saw a speedo indicating a top speed of 142 km/h, but this was with some assistance from a very mild downhill. Nevertheless, this remains a characterful little engine and is far more involving than the bigger 250cc motor from KTM. Another thing worth mentioning is that this BS6 engine sounds smoother and more refined than the original 200cc motor, but it's still a very KTM sound that encourages you to keep revving the engine out. Well, that sums up the changes on the new RC 200, and enthusiasts will be very happy with the fact that this bike is priced on par with the outgoing model. It's not sportier than the one it replaces, but it's still just as fun while bringing in additional features, comfort and usability. That's always a good thing. Just remember that this pricing is introductory and will go up at some point in the near future.
One of the best changes that you get to see are the comfortable and plush seats. Well, this is not removable and now the battery has been placed behind. And another thing that you'll observe is the belly pan does not exist at all. Well, this has been done to increase ground clearance, but at the end of the day, we saw us regularly hitting every single portal over there thanks to the soft suspension that this has. We rode it a lot of kilometers over the highways and also in the city, and of course we did a track day today as well. But honestly, this feels very good and it is very tractable to ride in the city and the highways, not so much on the track because the soft suspension causes the rear to chatter a lot and you get that wobble kind of feeling, and the ABS is very intrusive. This stoppies without hesitation and this runs like a maniac at full speed and also reaches a top speed of about 141 kilometers per hour. But end of the day, this is a bike meant for the people who want to ride it to a track day and not for people who want to carry it on the behind of a truck. By all means, this RC200 absolutely feels great and does not heat up. This is a much more matured machine and I would gladly recommend this to every single person out there who wants to start out with a track day experience or who wants to commute on a committed kind of a feeling of a bike. For 2.67 lakhs on road, this is one such beast that you would love to have in your garage. I heartily thank every single person at KTM Whitefield who helped us source this bike. Well, this is a 2022 slated bike and this is not even registered. We got it specially for us. And of course, if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel and share it with as many people as you can. Stay tuned for a lot more content. Until next time, get set, Anarchy.